All right, this is a unique one in the fact that I physically can't play it if I tried. So basically, WWE have booked an intergender match between Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton, and that is what's going to take place on Fastlane. But I put it in the White Swamp compound because I know it's probably going to be a cinematic kind of thing rather than an actual match. I don't think they'll just have an outright wrestling match, and if they do, I'll be fucking surprised. But basically, they've booked an agenda match. Obviously, this is the whole Randy Orton Fiend thing. I'm just gonna have to talk about this one because I can't physically play it if I wanted to. I do want to because it'd be an interesting one, but I can't. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really thought through in my head how this one's gonna go completely. I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like a load of shadow, maybe a load of shadows, maybe a load of cinematic stuff. Alexa just like scaring Randy and I don't know, just freaking him out really, more to the point, and just I don't know, really spooking him as he's been like the past, or she has been, I should say, for the past couple of months since the Fiend's disappearance at TLC. So basically, the whole thing started when Randy Orton, um, and the Fiend. Right, okay, I'm gonna have to find the build here because I don't know where exactly it started. I'm pretty sure the Fiend targeted Orton to completely start his thing, but I will go back and check. You can see how organized I am, by the way. So basically, Randy Orton won the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre all the way back at Hell in a Cell. So yes, that's how long it's been going on for. And he appeared on the Moment of Bliss talk show with Alexa Bliss, obviously, and she had already at this point aligned herself with the Fiend, which is interesting. And then Alexa Bliss referenced Orton's past rivalry with Wyatt at WrestleMania 33 back in 2017. And then there's some stuff about McIntyre, which is not important. But the lights went out at one point, and the Fiend was standing behind Orton on the entrance ramp. When McIntyre was standing in the ring, I don't know what this whole McIntyre thing is about, but anyway. So basically, McIntyre is won the championship back. This is when McIntyre won the championship back in November, just after or just before Survivor Series. So that's how long it's been going on for. But then the Fiend caused Orton, I should say. I can't read, bruv. This is just a nightmare, isn't it? Right, let me try this again. The Fiend caused Orton to lose an opportunity to regain the title the following week. Orton then once again appeared on the Moment of Bliss, claiming to know the Fiend's weakness as Bliss herself. Oh, so apparently Alexa Bliss is the weakness of the Fiend. Orton was subsequently scheduled to face the Fiend at TLC. Before the event on the December 14th episode of Raw, Orton challenged Wyatt's cheery Firefly Funhouse persona to a game of hide and seek that ended in a backstage brawl where Orton locked Wyatt inside of a wooden crate and set it ablaze. The Fiend then emerged from the flaming box and attacked Orton. Their match at TLC was a Firefly Inferno match, and obviously they brawled a little bit and they tried to set each other on fire, more or less. I can't believe that was the main event at TLC as well. At the end of the day, though, Randall Orton set the Fiend on fire, and then Orton did an RKO whilst the Fiend was still on fire, and then he set the body even more on fire, if that makes sense. He put gasoline on the body and set it ablaze. So that kind of wrote the Fiend off. And then it says here, Randy Orton stated that he enjoyed burning the Fiend alive and declared that the Fiend was no more. The lights then began to go out, which usually signals the Fiend. However, instead of the Fiend appearing, Alexa Bliss appeared in a ring on a swing set, which Bliss referred to as Alexa's playground. Bliss then warned Orton that if the Fiend returned, it would be like nothing Orton had ever seen before. The following week, Bliss invited Orton to her playground. However, Orton instead appeared inside the Firefly Funhouse and destroyed Wyatt's puppets. An angry Bliss then challenged Orton to meet her later that night in the ring, which Orton accepted. Bliss challenged Orton to set her on fire just as he did to the Fiend. Despite Bliss dousing herself in gasoline, Orton initially rejected the idea as he knew it was exactly what she wanted. However, after more taunting, the show closed with the lights going out and a shot of Orton smiling as he held a lit match, seemingly indicating that Orton set Bliss on fire. The next episode revealed that Orton did not set Bliss on fire, stating that in fact facing the Fiend changed the person, and in this case it caused Orton to show Bliss compassion and mercy, which he resented himself for. So that continued. And then there's some more build somewhere. I could just tell you what I think the result's going to be, but I don't even know what the result's going to be. And then it says here, at WWE Fastlane, Randy Orton will go one-on-one with demonic Alexa Bliss. Over the years, Orton has heard the voices in his head and used them to help get inside the minds of his formidable list of adversaries with a sadistic demeanour equal only to his incredibly dangerous arsenal. Alexa Bliss has embraced the benefits of extreme psychological warfare when she became aligned with the Fiend to deliver some of the strangest and most shocking results imaginable. When Orton burned the Fiend alive, Bliss took on the torch against Orton all by herself with a gruesome one-woman vendetta filled with mind games and voodoo-like mysticism. In the midst of chaotic back and forth that left a sea distraction in its wake on both sides, Orton failed to burn Alexa's Playground's resident after she covered herself in fuel and dared him to do it. The Viper blamed his own compassion. As a result, WWE's Apex Predator kicked it up a notch and met Bliss's dark nature as they continued to fight for both mind and soul. On the March 15th edition of Raw, Alexa Bliss proposed Randy finally end his nightmare and kick her out of his life at WWE Fastlane, a challenge the Legend Killer gleefully accepted. So it's led all the way up to this since October. Since Randy Orton was WWE Champion, that's where it's been from. So what I think is going to happen, I've thought about it while I was explaining. This is my prediction. So, like I said, they're going to have the mind games, they're going to have the cinematic stuff. They're going to have Alexa Bliss just taunt Randy Orton by going around in different places. Randy Orton's lost, doesn't know what he's doing. Eventually, Randy Orton will get his hands on Alexa. He'll hit her with an RKO. And then following that, he will line her up for the punt. But as he's doing the punt, the lights go out. And you can see where this is going. The lights go out, basically. And then the Fiend appears. New mask, new outfit, new everything. He chokes out Orton, obviously. He just destroys Orton. And then maybe, I don't know, sets him on fire? I've not decided on that bit yet, but I guess probably not. And then he points up to the WrestleMania sign, signifying that he wants to see Orton at WrestleMania 37. And then at WrestleMania 37, it'll be a Firefly Funhouse match. Just like last year he had with John Cena, he's going to have that with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And that'll be the end of the feud, I think, personally. I think that's what's going to happen anyway. So he hits Bliss with an RKO, pretty much. And then he goes to the punt. Fiend comes in, new outfit, new mask, new everything, chokes out Orton, points to the WrestleMania sign. Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania. I could have probably summed it up inside 30 seconds, but I wanted to get the whole build and the whole kind of thing so everyone knows what's going on in this one. It's unfortunate that I couldn't play this match because it would have been an interesting one. I wouldn't have been able to do like my prediction of the whole cinematic thing that I'm expecting, but kind of what I'm thinking is going to go on. So I know it's not a match, and I apologise for taking up 8 minutes of your time if you're not interested in me talking, but basically, I'll say it once again, just so if anyone's missed it. The scenario, basically what I think is going to happen, there's going to be some cinematic stuff. They're going to end up in the ring. I should have mentioned that. They're going to end up in the ring. Randy Orton will hit the RKO on Alexa Bliss. He'll try and follow it with a punt. The Fiend will intercept after the lights go out and then come back on. He will choke out Randy Orton with the mandible claw, point to the WrestleMania sign, I want you at WrestleMania kind of thing. Firefly Funhouse match. So basically that's what I'm thinking is going to happen on that one. I just want to get this one out of the way because I don't really know what to do with this one. Because you can't play it, obviously. 2K20 will just not let you play it. So it's kind of out of the... I was going to do a mixed tag match. But then I realised if I have Randy Orton hit Alexa, then the match will end by DQ. So there's literally no way around it. But anyway, that's what I'm predicting for that one. I'll put it in the description that this isn't a match. It's just me talking about said match. But I will continue with the matches now. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the Fastlane predictions that are coming up.